What is going on, you guys? MissedThePart here, back again. So I thought I'd do another video lately because I'm doing like some spring cleaning, and I actually took all my action figures off of the shelf, and there's like hundreds of them. So I thought, why not get all of the Spider-Man figures that I own and put it in a box, and I'm pretty much going to show you every single Spider-Man figure that I have. That's not including villains, because I have literally like way too many villains, and it's just crazy from the amount that I've accumulated over the years. Now, I've been collecting for a very long time, probably maybe 10 years now, since I was like 10 years old. So I mean, the first few figures I got were like Marvel Universe, like Hulk figures, and then I started collecting all the Spider-Man figures later throughout the years, and I've actually acquired a lot of these from eBay. So anyways, let's take a look at all these action figures. Okay, I'm going to be opening the box right now. Now, this is spanning from pretty much all the movies. Now, this is going to be very difficult to open. Okay, not really. You know, it's not really difficult to open all these up, but I'm going to move it so you guys can kind of like see like how much stuff there is. But it's crazy from all of the figures that I own throughout the whole 10 years and stuff. You know, I've sold, I've bought and stuff, and things don't usually last over the years, so I've pretty much bought and sold a lot of these, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. But I am so happy that I collected these, because a lot of them are going up in price now, and I'm glad that I'm keeping a hold of these, because you know, I want to keep them for future years, and then I don't know if I'm going to be selling these or not, so most likely I won't be. But anyways, let's take a look at these figures. Okay, so I was going to grab the Raimi one, but I'm going to grab this one. So this is a Spider-Man 1 figure. This is a really nice figure indeed. There's a lot of like paint apps and stuff. They actually sculpted this one, because I know that this was a original Toy Biz one from Spider-Man Classic, and then they actually ended up redoing a lot of the sculpt on this figure. So I mean, to have a 2002 figure, you know, it's like 16 years old, 17 years old, it's really cool to have one of these. Definitely would be picking this up if I ended up seeing this ever again. Got this actually in a lot on eBay, so I'm really glad that I ended up picking that one up. And I have another one because in the lot on eBay it came with two of them, so it was really weird how they ended up coming with two of them. So here's the second one, another perfect one. I think the one on the other one actually had a loose head, so the one on this one isn't really that loose. So I'm really glad that I ended up getting this one as well. So, you know, it's better to have two than one, because if one breaks, then, you know, you can't replace it. But with two, you could actually always replace it if you wanted to. Now, let's go in deep here with, okay, yeah, let's go with this one, a House of M Spider-Man figure. Not one of my favorite designs. You know, the suit is okay. It's good what it was worth, but this figure, you know, it didn't come with any like interchangeable hands, and I'm really, you know, mad about that, because I would have liked to have interchangeable hands and maybe a mask. But you know, it's a plain figure. Not my favorite, but definitely a must-have if you're collecting Spider-Verse figures. I know that there was a what if on this figure that they ended up making, and it pretty much just explained more of like his story and stuff. But I'm not a big fan of the House of M storyline. You know, it is what it is, but it's definitely not a contender for me anyways. You know, it was okay, but it wasn't anything special. We have a Ben Reilly action figure, which I took the head off the other Ben Reilly figure and then put it on that one. So I'm glad that I ended up getting two Ben Reilly ones. I have another one in here somewhere, but this one just looks like more of like a modern Ben Reilly figure. Can't find where the other hand went, because I know that that's for the right hand, and I don't know why it's on the left one, but definitely a must-have for sure. I have a Walmart exclusive black suit Spider-Man figure. This is a must-have for sure. Definitely, I think this would probably have to be my favorite black suit Spider-Man. I mean, I have the Mezco one right here, and I'll actually bring that one. But I don't know, because I still like this one a lot better than this, so it's hard to say. But again, this one's made out of cloth, the Mezco one's made out of cloth, so I kind of like the plastic one a lot better. But they are both amazing figures, you know, same detail. And yeah, I just like the symbiote Spider-Man figure. I have a lot more symbiote figures, you know, with like Venom, Carnage, you know, it's just, the list goes on, right? So you can only have so many. So those are those two figures. Definitely a really good one to have in the collection. And here's just a basic symbiote Spider-Man Marvel Legend figure. This one, you know, it is what it is. Not the greatest one. Rather choose the Walmart over this one. You know, this to me just seems like a cheap version of that one. So again, you know, it is what it is. And let's see here. There's so many that I could go through. It's unbelievable. Let's actually go over here. So two more modern costumes that were actually in Spider-Man PS4, and that is the Punk and the MK4. You know, both really nice figures. This came in a 2-pack, and then this was in the Lizard Build-A-Figure, I think. So those are two great figures. You know, the Spider-Punk suit, I was really hard on that Spider-Punk suit in Spider-Man PS4, but, you know, I didn't, you know, as an action figure collector, like, it's definitely cool to have in the collection. And now here is a Homecoming figure. Definitely a cool figure indeed. You know, if you're collecting MCU stuff, this is one that you're definitely going to want to get for the future, so I'm glad that I have this in my collection. I also have a Homecoming 2-pack with Iron Man somewhere around here, but it's unopened, so I haven't actually opened that figure up. And a Spider Carnage figure, definitely a must-have if you're for like a fan of the Clone Saga. If not, you know, this was a story that was around that time in the 90s, and it had Ben Reilly getting the symbiote. I love the storyline behind him actually getting it, so this is a really nice figure. You know, the detail could have been a lot better in the arms and the legs. You know, they could have added more symbiote, but you know, for what it is, it's okay with me. You know, maybe Mafex or something might make a Spider Carnage figure. I might jump on that one of these days if they end up making it. But yeah, definitely a nice figure indeed. So we have Spider Carnage, and let's keep going down the line. We have a just a modern Spider-Man. This is in a 2-pack with Doc Ock, which actually seems like the Spider-Man 2000 figure. You know, this would be my Spider-Man 2000 figure if I had to choose. Don't know why, but it just seems like, you know, kind of like the one from the video game. So yeah, that'd be my Spider-Man 2000 action figure right here. But it's not called that. That's just what I would call it. So definitely a cool figure indeed. I like the design. Just a basic classic Spider-Man, pretty much. Nothing too significant about that one. Here's a Pizza Spidey. Everybody knows about this one. I really like this figure, except with mine. If you can see, a chest, like part of the chest actually broke off there. So, I mean, it is what it is. With this one, I've had it for a long time. It's been through a lot. It actually fell off my shelf like twice. I was doing a live stream, and then like my shelf fell and the figure almost broke, so I'm glad that it didn't end up breaking. And we have a original Mezco classic Spider-Man. This right now is my definitive Spider-Man because I don't have the Mafex one, which I do want to end up getting. I literally cannot get it because it's either I don't have the money at a certain time I want to get it, or it's just I've forgot about the figure. But I definitely want the Mafex one. But the Mezco so far is definitely my favorite classic Spider-Man figure. You know, you can see the detail in the face, and I definitely love the cloth on that one for sure. So going down the line here, we have a really cool what's this one? Yeah, we have a cool Captain Universe Spider-Man figure, which they should have changed these with yellow instead of green, because I don't know why the accessory is green when, if you look, it actually is yellow in the comic books. But you know, that's what they did for that one, and it's definitely a must-have. You know, it's usually at Walmart for like 20 bucks. And here's a Marvel Select Snapshot Spidey. I think that's what it's called. I know they have another one that's Marvel Legends, but this is just another Oh yeah, no, it's a Spectacular Spider-Man one, but yeah, that's a Spectacular Spider-Man figure. This is probably, I think, one of my favorite ones, actually, yeah, because I have two of these. I bought one just to have one unmasked and one that has one that's actually masked, and then I put the Mezco webs on this one, as you can see. But this one's a really nice one for sure. You know, to have it unmasked and masked just seems a lot better. You know, I don't want to buy one and then having to switch out every time. So it's like, you know, I'm just gonna buy two of them to be safe, and if one breaks, I have the other one. And here is the other not Spider-Man, other Scarlet Spider figure that I was talking about with the other one. This one actually has no, if you can see, I don't know if it'll focus in there, but there's no black outline in the eyes, which it shouldn't have any black outline. I don't know why they did that, but if you go back to the original Web of Spider-Man issues and stuff, this was actually the right one. So I'm glad Hasbro changed that, and they gave it more of a darker red and like some tone to the blue. So I'm really glad they ended up doing that. Here's a Peter Porker figure. You know, $20 just for this kind of a rip-off, but again, you needed to like complete your giant Venom figure, so this was a really nice one for sure. Always good to have figures that are rare, because I know that one will definitely be rare. And we have a MJ figure that came in a 2-pack with the MK4 for some reason, even though the MK4 had nothing to do with MJ during the time of the comic book, so it's really weird how they ended up doing that. And if we go over here, I have Spider-Gwen, and I think that's Spider-Woman, yeah, so we have both of those. Really nice figures indeed. I know that ended up re-releasing Spider-Gwen with a Miles Morales. I think it was a 2-pack. I haven't really been keeping up. And then there's a, I think an all-new, all-different Spider-Gwen, or not Spider-Gwen, a Spider-Woman. Always get those two confused. You know, they look like the same people, but, you know. A McFarlane black and red suit, definitely a nice one. I think this is the knockoff version of this one. I ended up getting this from my dad for my birthday, so this was a nice figure indeed. Definitely a must-have for sure. You know, I definitely like it. It's a bit loose in the legs, but it's a really nice figure. Okay, so we're at the end of the line over here. We have a few more. We have 2 more Raimi figures. I think one has a, yeah, if you actually look, it's so weird because one has a darker red and one has a non-darker red. So these are 2 really nice figures to have in the collection. The only thing is they're not really posable, so you know, you can't really do too much with those ones, even if you wanted to. This is the one that you're gonna definitely want to have in the collection, and that is the Spider-Man 2 superposable figure. I don't know which one this is because there's 2 magnets on mine, but this is a must-have for sure. I definitely think this would be in my top 5 favorite ones, but you know, it's just the detail they did on this, and just because I'm a fan of the Sam Raimi trilogy, definitely one of my favorite figures of all time. So that is that. And another one that I really like, and this, I usually call this one the 90s Spider-Man, and it was in the Sinister Six pack back in like 2006. This one looks like the 90s Spider-Man to me, so that's why I ended up getting it, because I'm a huge fan of that series, and every time I look at this figure I always think like, wow, this really does look like the TV show. And I don't know if it's the mask, but it looks like the TV show, and then it looks like the Edge of Time Spider-Man. I don't know why, but that's kind of the vibes that I get from that figure. So that's a definitely really nice one for sure. And here we go with a Iron Spider, which they really need to update this figure. They really need to update the Iron Spider figure. I know they have the MCU one, which I did miss out on that one a few months ago, but you know, this is the one that I have, and I think it is what it is for this one, but I want them to re-release it for sure, because that would be cool. I have a Homecoming homemade suit, probably one of my favorite suits from the Spider-Man Homecoming movie. You know, I ended up putting the Mezco web on that, and the detail on this is really nice. You know, it looks like the Scarlet Spider suit with opposite colors. And this was probably always one of my favorite suits. I just, when I look at it, I'm like, wow, that's really nice. But, you know, I haven't really seen this in the video game that much. I haven't really been interested in playing as it. But, you know, to see it in action figure form, I really do like it for sure. So, you know, it has the goggles. I think there was another hoodie. I think there was a hoodie that you could actually attach to the head. I think you could take the head off it or do something with that. So, you know, that's really interesting figure. And we have a 2099 Miguel O'Hara figure. I got this on eBay last year for like $60. So, you know, it's definitely a rare figure. I didn't want to get the knockoff one because I know they've been having some knockoff figures. And, you know, I just don't really feel like, you know, the cheap way to go is to get knockoffs. But, you know, the real deal is always probably one of the best ones. And going down the line again is we have another 2099, which I don't know what the heck they did with the storyline with this one, but I think it was like a Miguel O'Hara's son or something. They did something weird with this particular 2099 figure in the comic book, so I don't know what they did here, but it's definitely one of my favorite suits in Spider-Man PS4. And I've seen a photoshopped one of this figure, and then it had like the Iron Man kind of thing, and I thought, wow, that's really nice. So, you know, that's definitely a cool figure indeed. And we have a ripped up Spider-Man comic book style figure that looks like from the series Torment from Todd McFarlane. I think it was like the first 5 issues or something, but it's definitely a must-have figure for sure. It looks just like the cover from, I think it was issue 5. But yeah, it's definitely a must-have, and I really like this one. And going down the line again, we have a definitive Ultimate Spider-Man Marvel Legends. This is the one that you're going to want to own. It's definitely a must-have for sure. I don't know what it is, but they did like something perfect with this figure, so I'm glad that we ended up getting that in figure form. And it's definitely a must-own if you did play the old Spider-Man 2, or no, if you did play the old Spider-Man PS2 game. And I wish they would have made a second game, but they didn't. And here's my custom advanced suit figure. I don't actually own the one from GameStop or EB Games. I just ended up getting this custom for like $200, which I pretty much got ripped off. But, you know, I didn't know at the time, so it was like, whatever. We have a, definitely a cool figure indeed, and that is a Spider-Man Noir figure. Now, the movie is still happening, but I won't get into that too much. But this figure I ended up getting from Big Bad Toy Store, and it was in that whole set. I think it was with Lizard. It was with Lizard or Vulture or something, but yeah, that's definitely a must-have for sure. And I have a Diamond Select zombie Spider-Man figure. This is really nice. This is a definitely must-have figure. You know, if you're a fan of Marvel Zombies, that's something that you're going to want to pick up. And here is a Scarlet Spider figure, the Kane version of the Scarlet Spider. Definitely love this figure for sure. You know, it does come with interchangeable hands, but I like the hands where he has like the other power. That is really cool. And going down the line again, we have another Raimi figure. This one kind of looks a bit ugly, but he's huge. You know, he's not as big as the other one that I had, but definitely a cool pickup. It was like from like a 360 series. It was like Spider-Man 360 line. They had like multiple figures I think you could get. And here's another Raimi figure, and that is the Spider-Man 3 one. So that's another figure I got. And another Raimi figure is the ripped up Spider-Man 1 figure where he fights Green Goblin. This is my definitive ripped up Spider-Man. You know, I'll definitely use this even in like comic book figure poses and stuff. You know, if he's fighting the Sinister Six, always like to have this one definitely with that. So that's a really cool one. Here is a Miles Morales figure. Definitely a really cool figure indeed. You know, Miles Morales, always good to have him around. We have a Superior Spider-Man. Kind of looks a bit ugly. I wish they would put it on the, I think it was the all new, all different 2099. They should put it on there. And then here is a web from the Mezco line, and then I have my custom, like, it was only customized by the hands, as you can tell, but it is a UK figure with the Spider Carnage hands, the flip hand. So we have that figure, and we have two more, and that is the I think this is another Spider-Woman figure. Definitely a cool figure. I have the Figma Amazing Spider-Man backpack on that. Another cool figure. And last but not least, we have actually one of my favorite figures is the Amazing Spider-Man 1 figure. This is, I don't know why, but I just bought it on eBay and I was like, wow, this is actually really good. You know, I missed out on it back in 2012, and I actually got it like 3 weeks ago from this recording. So this is another movie figure, definitely a must-have for sure if you like the Amazing Spider-Man movies. And yeah, that's my whole Spider-Man collection. If you guys did enjoy, do make sure to put a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications so you and your friends can stay all up to date with the latest content, you know. But anyways, thanks for watching. Peace out.